On behalf of the members of the Board of Governors, our faculty, staff, and graduates, I welcome you to the 170th commencement exercises of Marshall University. We will now invite Angela V. Moore, Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree graduate, to the podium to sing the national anthem. Followed by the national anthem, we will have an invocation by Dr. Kenneth P. Ambrose, Professor of Sociology.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Great. Great.
We've come from different parts of the state, the nation, and the world. We represent different cultures, different faiths, different religions and beliefs. Let us at this time turn our hearts and minds to the power that gives us strength to live. Let us pray. Almighty God, we are gathered to celebrate the lives and the accomplishments of these graduates. This is a rite of passage for these graduates. Through these years, they have worked hard to achieve their degrees. We hope that the knowledge they have gained will help them make this world a better place for all. They will be facing problems and situations we cannot even imagine. The world has changed so much in recent years. May their education and knowledge and skill enable them to creatively solve these problems. We are grateful to the family and friends who have helped them accomplish their goals. They have made great sacrifices. We are happy they are here to share in this celebration. We are thankful for the faculty, administration, and staff who have worked tirelessly to provide this experience for our students. We are especially thankful for those who are retiring and for their years of service, the contributions they have made to Marshall University. In the past several years, the Marshall community, the state, and the nation, and the world have experienced a variety of tragedies and deaths that have affected us all. In a moment of silence, let us remember the victims and the families of Virginia Tech as they try to deal with this senseless tragedy. Let us also remember the lives and the families of those who died in another tragedy on 9/11, especially one of our graduates, Dr. Paul Ambrose. We remember the soldiers also who have died defending our country. We remember professors, alumni, staff, grandparents, husbands, wives, sons and daughters, our friends who have died. And especially we remember the life of Linda Walker. Let us recall these individuals, their faces, the qualities that made them unique to us, and the influence they have had upon us, our school, and our nation. Amen.
Thank you, Professor Ambrose, and thank you, Angela. We are honored today by the presence of several members of our Board of Governors. This board is the governing body of Marshall University, which means that this board has the authority for fiduciary, capital project, and governance decisions, and they rest solely with this board. Appointed by the governor of the great state of West Virginia, its members are Menace E. Ketchum, Chairman; Robert L. Schell, Jr., Vice Chair; Verna K. Gibson, Secretary; Gary Atkins; Letitia Neese Chafin; Michael J. Farrell; John G. Hess, Virginia King, Brent Marsteller, General Harley F. Mooney, Jr., A. Michael Perry, Susan K. Richardson, Gary G. White, James M. Statilli, Faculty Representative, Sherry Noble, Staff Representative, and Chad Caldwell, Student Representative. Would the board members present today please stand and be recognized? Also with us today are some very special guests. Linda Hickam, wife of our commencement speaker. Please stand. Here along with Linda and Homer is Emily Sue Buckberry, childhood friend of Homer and graduate of Marshall University. Also seated here is Judy Ketchum, wife of the board chairman, Menace Ketchum. Judy, please stand. And also here is the First Lady of Marshall University, my dear wife, Jane Kopp. Jane, please stand. We thank all of you for joining us here today to honor our graduates. The members of the platform party seated behind me will be performing specific roles during this ceremony and will be introduced later during the program. Before proceeding to our most important duty here today, which is the conferring of degrees, I will take just a few minutes to introduce some very special graduates. Their stories are engaging testimonies to personal triumph, perseverance, and dedication despite great odds. Dr. Melanie S. Jones is with us here today. Melanie, please stand. Melanie is a 32-year-old mother of 3 teens. While raising her children as a single parent, she not only earned an associate degree at Huntington Junior College and a bachelor's degree from Shawnee State University while working 2 jobs, but this past December she earned a Doctor of Education degree from the Marshall Graduate College. Incredibly, Melanie also is a 3-time cancer survivor. First confronting this terrible disease in her early 20s, Melanie has kept the faith and persevered, and now is an education specialist for the West Virginia Prevention Resource Center. Her children, Bethany, Hillary, and Kevin, are excellent students, love and admire their mother for what she is as a human being and a parent. They, like us, are very proud of you. Thank you, Melanie, and congratulations. A very special graduate this year in the College of Liberal Arts is Santana Maria Maynard. Santana, please stand. Santana is a criminal justice major and integrated science and technology minor. She is graduating today at the age of 19. Santana was homeschooled by her parents in Wayne, West Virginia, and began taking classes at Marshall University in July 2001. At the age of 13, as a superior and talented student, she never enrolled in a public school during her K-12 education. She was self-educated through her homeschooling and through her work with retired teachers in the Wayne County area. Santana plans to attend graduate school at Marshall University and earn her teaching certificate as well as a master's degree in criminal justice. And then she plans to work for the FBI someday. Congratulations, Santana. Another very special graduate this year is George W. Neal of Milton, West Virginia. George, would you please stand? Today, George is receiving his Regents Bachelor of Arts degree at the age of 80. He likes to tell his close friends that he is a slow learner, which he claims is why it took him 60 years to earn his degree. Don't believe it. George was well on his way to earning an undergraduate degree in 1949 when he left Marshall University to teach school in Cabell County. A few years later, George took a job with Union Carbide, where he worked in the chemical field for 35 years before retiring. George, who grew up as a self-described poor country boy, is very proud of his accomplishments, as well he should be. He says he dreamed as a child of one day graduating from college. Today, that dream comes true. Congratulations, George. You made it. Today, Kathy Fincham of Hurricane, West Virginia, will be conferred her degree in Business Administration from Marshall University. Kathy, please stand. Kathy has about 10 very proud people here today supporting her, including her husband and 2 daughters. This is a very special time for Kathy and her family, as she told her 15-year-old daughter, Amber, for the first time just a few weeks ago. Kathy was a high school dropout. However, she did not stay out long, earning her GED at the age of 18. She began college at West Virginia State in 1994, and just 2.5 years ago, following a motor vehicle accident that left her battling chronic pain issues, transferred to Marshall University. Today, Kathy's journey reaches another milestone as she graduates with her bachelor's degree. Her plans are to possibly own a small business and to write articles or a book on family and life issues. We know you and your family are proud, Kathy, and so are we. Congratulations. Today, Tammy Mahar of Ashland, Kentucky is graduating with a degree in sports management and marketing. Tammy, please stand. In the spring of 2004, at the tender age of 41, Tammy returned to college, some 24 years after attending Central Arkansas University for 1 year. She has been a member of the Marshall women's golf team for the past 4 seasons. Tammy, now 44 years old, had the 3rd best stroke average on the team her sophomore and junior years and finished in the top 20 in 2 tournaments last fall. She was named Mid-American Conference Sportswoman of the Year in her sophomore year as voted by her peers, and won the Women's Golf Team Leadership Award at Marshall during her junior and senior years. All of this while making the Dean's List each of her 7 semesters here at Marshall University. Congratulations, Tammy. Would Lowell Austin please stand? Lowell is also receiving his Bachelor of Arts degree in Sports Marketing and Management today. This accomplishment is a dream come true for Lowell, who has a form of autism called Asperger's syndrome. When his family was informed years ago of the diagnosis, they were also told that Lowell needed to be institutionalized. Some doubted he could even attend school. Through his hard work and the support of the Marshall University Autism Center, Lowell has conquered many challenges in his life, and today he is graduating from college. What a tremendous feat for a young man who, with the right support, is here with us today. Congratulations, Lowell. Next, in honor of our esteemed commencement speaker, Homer Hickam, I would like to acknowledge our continued strong ties with McDowell County here in West Virginia, where Homer was born and raised. This year's graduating class includes 8 students from McDowell County, including 2 from his hometown of Coalwood. The 8 graduates are Anika L. Bumpus, Bradley A. Hilton, Amanda V. Roop, Scarlett I. Manchin, Ashley M. Wilson, Megan N. Christian, Eric J. Witcher, and Jessica M. Bland. Would they please stand and be recognized? Congratulations to each of you. Let me say that each graduate here today is special to us, and each of you has a distinctive story that could be told. In the interest of time, I will resist the temptation of more storytelling and will close this segment by paying special tribute to 2 graduates with whom I've had the very special privilege of knowing and working. Would Beverly Maynard and Sarah Bryant please stand? Beverly and Sarah have been student assistants in the Office of the President ever since I joined Marshall University in 2005. Their intelligence, professionalism, and industrious work habits have added mightily to the accomplishments of our office. Thank you for what you have contributed and for who you are. You will be missed. Thank you and congratulations. At this time, I am pleased to present Menace E. Ketchum, Chairman of the Marshall University Board of Governors. He will bring greetings from the board.
The Board of Governors do congratulate you on your accomplishments, but we want to remind you that you live in exponential times, and if you don't continue to learn exponentially, you'll be left behind. Now, why is that? Well, studies show that the average graduate here today will have 5 jobs by the time you're 38 years old. Why is that important? Because the same studies show that the top 10 jobs in demand by the year 2017 don't exist today. The top 10 jobs in demand, or will be in demand in 2017, don't exist today, and they will be using technology that hasn't been invented yet. You need to continue to learn. In 2023, a $100 laptop computer will have more capabilities than the human brain. So we implore you to keep learning, make lots of money, and remember Marshall University.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I first met our commencement speaker and his wife, Linda, about 5 years ago. The chance meeting introduced me to Coalwood, West Virginia, and hours of enjoyable reading. I have read every book Homer has written and look forward to the release of his newest book, The Far Reaches. He is an incredible storyteller, and his passion for West Virginia and its people is unparalleled. I find inspiration and universal truths woven into the fabric of his writings. I recall the closing remarks delivered by Homer at the memorial service for the Sago miners in Buchanan, West Virginia on January 15, 2006. and I quote, "For in this place, this old place, this ancient place, this glorious and beautiful and sometimes fearsome place of mountains and mines, there still lives a people, like the miners of Sago and their families, people who yet believe in the old ways, the old virtues, the old truths, who still lift their heads from the darkness to the light and say for the nation and all the world to hear, we are proud of who we are. We stand up for what we believe. We keep our families together. We trust in God. We do what needs to be done. We are not afraid." Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Homer Hickam.
Thank you. It's just great to be back in West Virginia, and especially at Marshall. Thank you, President Kopp, deans of the various academic schools, distinguished alumni, honored guests, and especially the graduating students of Marshall University. And also, I've got to say, also on the stage is a personal hero of mine, and that's Congressman Ken Heckler. Ken Heckler went around the county, southern West Virginia, saying, "I'm Ken Heckler. I'm your servant in Congress." I mean, how refreshing is that? I think we could use a few more servants in Congress. Some time ago, when my memoir, Rocket Boys, came out, and then they made that little movie called October Sky, it was suggested by some very nice folks right here in West Virginia that I should come up and run for governor. You're pretty popular, they said, right now, and maybe you could even do the job. I thought about that, and I recalled it seemed to me that the governors in this state had to work pretty hard. And most of the time, people were yelling at them about something, one thing or another. So after giving it all the thought that it deserved, about 5 seconds, I turned them down, but I suggested that if the position of king ever came open, I was their man. King of West Virginia, it seemed to me, would be a pretty good position. All I'd have to do was to turn up when people were having fun and say some nice things and then go back to my castle. Yep, being king would be a really nice gig. But you know, I've been lucky in a lot of ways with the jobs that I've had. I was a captain in the Army. I got to be a scuba instructor for a long time. I was even a rocket scientist. But now I get to be a writer. And being a writer is just a great thing to do. As a matter of fact, it's led to me getting a special award today. I get to get an honorary PhD in literature. Now, let me tell you, this is really important to me. I just cannot possibly let you know how wonderful I think that is. As a matter of fact, when President Kopp offered it to me some months ago, I asked him if he wouldn't mind to please put that offer in his will. Just in case something, God forbid, should happen to him before I could get up here to accept it. I know my teachers at Big Creek High School and my professors at Virginia Tech, wherever they are thinking, surely Marshall has lost its universal mind to give an old Coalwood boy who often, most of the time, forgot to study, such a wonderful honor. But you know what? I'm going to take it. It's nice to be recognized for a body of work because everything about writing is work. Make no mistake about it, possibly excepting cashing the royalty checks. Now, a lot of people have been coming to me and saying, Homer, are you finished writing about West Virginia? And I told them, well, I've written 4 books, said here. Isn't that enough? And being West Virginians, they said no. And so I happen to agree with them. I've got a new book coming out next February, and it's set in modern-day West Virginia, and it's called The Red Helmet. Now, you know what a red helmet is. That's what the novice coal miners wear. So I'm going to be real interested to hear what you think about. I know what you think about my books that took place 40, 50 years ago in West Virginia, but let's see if I can capture the modern-day West Virginia. But enough about me. And on to you wonderful graduates, because that's what it's all about today. I hope you're satisfied with yourself. You should be. You did it. You did it. You are Marshall, and you did it. I'm really proud of you. Every one of you you have your own story on what you and your family had to give up, the sacrifices you had to make, the plan you had to follow to get to this place here and now. What a wonderful achievement, and it can never be taken away. Savor this moment. When I was a youngster, a coal mine superintendent once told me, I was at the time trying to obfuscate a certain situation. In other words, I was trying to fib my way out of it. He said, you know, Sonny, it's better to confess ignorance than to provide it. And I think he was right, so here's my confession of ignorance to you. I don't know what it will take for you to go on from here, degree in hand, and have a good life. Nobody does. But if I can't tell you exactly how to have a good one, what I can tell you maybe is how to avoid having a bad life. So I want to tell you my take on fear. Because if you haven't noticed, you presently live in a world where there are many, many people who want you to be afraid. Scaring you is, in fact, their profession. They're everywhere, in the media, in the government, sometimes even in the classroom or training camps in the desert, anywhere where they can deliver their message of fear and doom and hopelessness. They work every day to scare you, to make all your hard work and education and common sense seem like it's not worth anything. The world is a dangerous place, they say. It's too hot. It's too cold. If you eat this food, it'll kill you. If you don't eat it, it'll kill you anyway. Your religion is bad. Your country is bad. Even your president is bad. The market is down, and even if it's up, it's going to go down later. Here comes the recession. Nope, wait a minute. It might be a depression. Don't you dare look up. Why, there's cracks in the sky, which, by the way, if you haven't noticed, is falling. Oh, and by the way, watch my show, read my paper, and vote for me. Now, this is not a political speech, so I won't mention his name, but it just so happens that a certain ex-president of the United States just yesterday lurched into my philosophical crosshairs. He made a speech at Harvard University, and here's what he predicted. Famine all across the land. Collapsing health care caused by obesity. It's hard to put those two together. He predicted heat waves, blizzards, hurricanes, earthquakes, malaria epidemics, sometimes all at the same time. All this was coming, and all you had to do to solve it was to spend more money. And he also mentioned the fact that with global warming coming along, why, the next thing you know, Washington, D.C. was going to flood right up to the top of the Washington Monument. And I thought to myself, why would he be worrying about that? Why, you could get the same federal agency that built the levees around New Orleans to come in and keep all that from happening. I want you to promise me right now, if you don't do anything else, just don't buy into all this nonsense of fear. When I was out on book tour a couple of weeks, it was actually after 9/11, I was asked on C-SPAN, I was trying to talk about Sky of Stone, my book, and everybody wanted to talk about being afraid. And I was asked on C-SPAN, they said, "Well, Homer, here you are out flying around promoting your book. Aren't you afraid?" And I said, "No, because I was raised by the people of Coalwood, West Virginia. And if you thought about it, they ought to have been afraid of everything. I mean, every day, all the men got up and trooped off into this deep, dark, dirty coal mine, and all of the women and we kids saw them go off, and we weren't absolutely sure we'd see our husbands and fathers at the end of the day. But we had a good life. And I can tell you why. Because they were proud of who they were. And they stood up for what they believed. And they kept their families together. And they trusted in God, but relied on themselves. And this common bit of West Virginia wisdom went flying across this country like I had discovered a new book in the Bible. People were absolutely astonished about this. And so publishers came to me and said, "Homer, would you mind writing all of that down and putting it in a book?" And I said, "How much will you pay me for it?" No, that's not. That was the second thing I said. First thing I said was, "Well, sure, I'll do it." And I was happy to do it. And here's essentially, that book was called We Are Not Afraid. And here's essentially what it said. We're proud of who we are. Every hour, every day, you should feel proud of who you are. You need to recall all the people who came before you, all those who make up who you are, and stand tall and be proud. We're the people of a great nation. We have defeated every tyrant who tried to enslave us. We're Americans. We're the necessary nation on this planet. Without us, there would be anarchy. We shrug off the hatred that comes toward us because of who we are. They're just jealous. That's sometimes the price of being great. I can make an addendum to that today as well, just for you. You are Marshall. That right there is enough to make you proud of who you are. And people who are proud of who they are don't go around being afraid. We stand up for what we believe. You may have gotten into the habit, and we all have to be careful about this, of hiding what you believe in the hopes that others will just leave you alone. But if you take on this attitude of weakness, it's going to ultimately strip your self-respect. It's going to separate you from the rest of the community and leave you only a shell of the person. You have to break free of that attitude, and the best way to do that is to become truly informed so that your opinions are based on facts as well as you know them. Now, it's hard work having an opinion, but you can do it. You know, there was people and leaders who stand up for what they believe are not likely to be afraid. Can you think of some president that has 30% approval ratings? Harry Truman. He was not afraid, and now he's listed as one of the top presidents we've ever had. We keep our families together. Creating a family can give you a great deal of joy and peace. It could very well be a biological truth, but we can only be happy inside a family. Now, you have a family now, right here. Marshall is your family. Never forget where you came from. Work to keep it together. You're an alumnus now. Be a good one. Support your school. Come back as often as you can. Never forget Marshall. People who are part of strong families like this great university are not afraid. We trust in God, but we rely on ourselves. One of the most difficult things to explain is why there's goodness in this world. How, in a world where everything has to compete and work hard simply to survive, did decency get embedded into the human soul? Why is it that we crave honesty and goodness, and we strive to be honorable, even when being bad and evil is so much easier? How is it that evil, the desire to destroy and hurt others, hasn't been the driving force in our world? But it's not. Goodness is out there, and it's here too. It's everywhere. We are proud of who we are. We stand up for what we believe. We keep our families together. We trust in God, but rely on ourselves. Put all those things together, and I believe you have a good chance to live a happy life. Now, I'm not a Pollyanna. During your lifetime, I sadly have no doubt that bad things are going to happen to our country, to you, and across the world. Sometimes things are going to be pretty scary. There are some really awful, terrible, ruthless people out there, and a few of them are running for president. Speaking of presidents, here's one that's hardly ever talked about anymore, and I can't understand why. He balanced the budget 3 out of the 8 years he was president, and he came close in the other 5. He ended an unpopular war, but denied the enemy a victory. He built the interstate highway system, and during his tenure, the average family income of Americans was raised by 20%. He left office with the United States, the most powerful country in the world militarily as well as economically. His name? Dwight Eisenhower. It makes sense the politicians of today don't talk much about Ike. But if you'll only follow what he had to say, I think that the example of President Eisenhower would be a great one for all of us. You know, the thing about President Eisenhower, he just mostly wanted to build us a straight 4-lane highway so we could get from point A to point B. I think that was a great idea, and we should honor him for it. But I'll tell you something else about Dwight Eisenhower. He liked people. He believed in their goodness. Now, a lot of people these days will tell you that deep down, people are just mean and rotten. That's why the government has to step in from time to time and make sure all of us mean and rotten people do the right thing. Otherwise, who knows what mean and rotten thing we might do? Like maybe think for ourselves, for instance? Anyway, it just isn't true about people being inherently bad. I've been around this world, and deep down, most people are pretty nice. They just get afraid, that's all, and then they take it out on others. It's easy to spot people who are afraid. They fail to better themselves, or they tie themselves to jobs they despise, or they join gangs or violent religions, or turn cruel and bitter toward their spouses or children or friends. They become unable to enjoy life and end up taking it out on others. So whatever you do in the future, I beg you, don't fall into this trap of fear. Stay away from people who are negative. They subtract from your life. That's why they're called negative. Attach yourself instead to people who go about life in an optimistic way. Make them your friends. Delete fear and self-pity from your thinking. Only then will you start living. When I was a boy, one of my favorite places to go was a hollow high on the mountains behind my house. The hollow was filled with tall pine trees, and its floor was a plush carpet of dropped needles. It was a place where the industrial song of coal wood subsided, and the only sound I could hear was the wind rustling the tops of the pines or the squawk of an occasional squirrel. I loved that old hollow. I was alone in a deep wood, but I was absolutely, utterly at peace, completely unafraid. I wish every child in the world could have such a place to go where there would be safety and the world was quiet and their parents waited for them with patience and love. If every parent in the world would promise to themselves that their child was going to be loved and live in peace, imagine the world we would live in rather than the world we do live in. If only the whole world could take on the attitudes of the people of Coalwood and West Virginia and Marshall University toward life and love, it could be so. Sometimes when I imagine myself back in that hollow of pine, I wonder why there are so many people who choose to live harsh, ugly lives when all they have to do to be happy is to be honest and hardworking and free and willing to give other men a chance to hear their side of things and to reach out with the hand of friendship without fear. I don't have an answer, but I wonder all the same. I guess that's why I'll keep writing, trying to find the answers in my own mind, in my stories, so I can pass them along to those who read my words. We're proud of who we are. We stand up for what we believe. We keep our families together. We trust in God, but rely on ourselves. And to all those naysayers, the negative pundits and politicians out there, I say, And I know you say, we are not afraid. We are Marshall. You are Marshall, the best of the best. Thank you for letting me share your special day. For me, I have to tell you, the great, wonderful thing about today is, yes, you are Marshall, but today and evermore, so am I. Go Herd.
Thank you, Homer. Very, very inspiring speech. Are we afraid? Come on, you can do better than that. Are we afraid? All right. I am pleased at this time to introduce our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Sarah Denman.
On occasions such as these, the university is privileged to have the opportunity to publicly recognize outstanding individuals. Today, it is our pleasure to award honorary degrees to two distinguished individuals. President Kopp, on behalf of the faculty of Marshall University, I present Ken Heckler for the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Congratulations, Ken. He walked with giants, a visionary who helped movers and shakers shape the political and social landscape as we know it today. Truly a man for all seasons, Ken Heckler has been a teacher, author, political consultant, presidential advisor, civil rights activist, and perhaps most importantly to him, a dedicated public servant. His contributions to West Virginia are legendary. He came to Marshall University in 1957 after having served as a special assistant to Harry S. Truman, and later as Director of Research for presidential candidate Adlai Stevenson. In 1958, he was elected to the United States House of Representatives, a post he held from 1959 to 1977. Among his most noted legislation in Congress was the bill credited with saving the New River. Always a stalwart defender of civil rights, in 1969, he was the only member of Congress who marched with Martin Luther King Jr. in Selma, Alabama. Following another term of teaching at Marshall University, after he left Congress, he was elected West Virginia's Secretary of State in 1984 and served in that office until the year 2000. In 2000, he walked 530 miles with Doris Haddock in her cross-country walk on behalf of campaign finance reform. Whereas Ken Heckler has devoted his life to those in need and to the safety and well-being of the people he has served in his distinguished public service career, and whereas he has held a lifetime commitment to keep government accountable to the people it serves, and whereas he has been an esteemed faculty member at Marshall University who has donated his valuable professional papers as a public servant to be housed at Marshall University, therefore be it known to all that Marshall University hereby proclaims Ken Heckler as an alumnus and an individual worthy of our esteemed support and respect and commendation. By recommendation of the Faculty Senate and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Marshall University Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon you, Ken Heckler, the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, in token whereof Dr. Sarah N. Denman, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, will invest you with a hood symbolic of this distinguished degree.
Just one word. We are
Marshall!
President Kopp, on behalf of the faculty of Marshall University, I present Homer Hickam for the honorary degree Doctor of Literature.
On an October night in 1957, a Coalwood, West Virginia youngster watched in awe as Sputnik, the world's first Earth satellite, streaked across the Appalachian sky. That flight inspired Homer Hickam and 5 friends, dubbed the Rocket Boys, to pursue their dream of building their own high-flying rockets, a feat that eventually won them a gold medal at the National Science Fair in 1960. Homer's dream was to become a writer, and his 1999 highly acclaimed book about the adventures and exploits of the group, the Rocket Boys, reached #1 on the New York Times best-selling list. In 1999, the book was the basis for the critically acclaimed film October Sky. Today, the book and film, with their inspiring message, are studied in hundreds of schools and colleges across the country. The author of 9 other books, including 3 additional best-selling memoirs, Homer saw his boyhood dreams realized when he became a NASA engineer after graduating from Virginia Polytechnic Institute in 1964. Homer Hickam's entire life has been a proud example of what he terms his 3 P's of success: passion, planning, and perseverance. Whereas Homer Hickam has devoted his life to promoting excellence in all of his endeavors, and whereas his life and accomplishments as a West Virginian have been an inspiration to young people and adults everywhere, and whereas he has been tirelessly devoted to promoting higher education throughout the United States with his example of confidence, self-realization, and the power of following a dream, therefore be it known to all that Marshall University hereby proclaims Homer Hickam an alumnus and an individual worthy of our esteemed respect, support, and commendation. By recommendation of the Faculty Senate and by virtue of the authority vested in me by Marshall University Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon you, Homer Hickam, the honorary degree of Doctor of Literature, in token whereof Dr. Sarah N. Denman, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, will invest you with a hood symbolic of this distinguished degree.
Thank you, Marshall. Thank you.
Homer. We are all here today to honor graduates, but we must also recognize and honor the Marshall University faculty. Without the dedicated efforts of our faculty, this day would not be possible. This ceremony is the result of the efforts of our faculty to provide quality educational experiences for all of our students. They are the heart and soul of the university. I am proud to be associated with them. At this time, would the faculty please rise and be recognized? At this time, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Larry Stickler, Chair of the Faculty Senate.
If you will turn to page 10 of your program, you will see the names of the faculty members who have received awards for research and teaching this year. Please hold your applause until I finish each group of faculty members. Would those receiving the Distinguished Service Award please stand and be recognized as I call your name? Erlene Allen, Gary Anderson, Leonard Deutsch, Robert Edmonds, Jane McKee, Keith Spears, Donna Spindell, Michael Sullivan. Those receiving awards for teaching and research, for the Pickens Queen Teaching Awards, Pamela Holland, Rhonda Sturgill, and Lachlan Whalen. Marshall and Shirley Reynolds, Outstanding Teacher Award, Sissy Isaacs. Charles Hedrick, Outstanding Faculty Award, Montserrat Miller. Distinguished Artists and Scholars, Hung Wei Yu, Luke Eric Lassiter, Sholem Dickener, Ralph Obersforth, and Benita Lawrence. We are pleased to add all of these names to the list of award-winning faculty at Marshall. We also have other people like Barbara Geyer, Chuck Bailey, and so forth that have won national and state awards throughout the year. Like our graduates, our retiring faculty are moving on to new chapters in their lives. Collectively, the 17 faculty members you see printed in your program represent 415 years of service and have taught hundreds of courses and thousands of students. Retiring this year, and I have those that responded that they would be here this morning, Dr. Kenneth Ambrose, Sociology and Anthropology, 32 years. Dr. Charles Lloyd, Classics Department, 35 years. Dr. Jane McKee, School of Education, 20 years. Dr. Ralph Taylor, Integrated Science and Technology, 35 years. Graduates, on behalf of the faculty at Marshall University, the faculty wish you the greatest success in your careers, and that will be built on an educational foundation forged by the interaction between you as students and the faculty of Marshall University. The large number of faculty in attendance this morning is a tribute to the students here this morning and their accomplishment. Thank you very much.
I would like to take just a moment to recognize and thank the outstanding work of the Marshall University Commencement Band under the direction of Stephen Barnett. It is a wonderful group of students and faculty. Let's give them a round of applause. At this time, we want to recognize those individuals who have achieved a very high level academically at the undergraduate level during their years at Marshall University. As I ask each group to stand, please join me in congratulating them. We will now recognize the associate degree graduates with high honors with a grade point average of 3.7 to 4.0, and those with honors with a grade point average of 3.3 to 3.69. Will those students please stand? At the baccalaureate level, cum laude is a grade point average of 3.3 to 3.59. Due to an oversight, there is one student's name who was omitted from the program at the cum laude honors list, Julene Lee Justice. Will those students please stand? Magna cum laude is 3.6 to 3.84. Will the magna cum laude graduates please stand? Summa cum laude is 3.85 to 4 point. Will the summa cum laude students please stand? This year at Marshall University, there are 18 students who have completed their degrees with a perfect 4-point grade average. That means that these students never received anything but an A in every single class. For the May graduates, of course, the GPAs are tentative pending final grades, but we are confident these 18 will still be 4-point graduates. I will call their names, and after all 18 names have been called, please join me to really congratulate a students on an extraordinary accomplishment. Sean Eric Boyd, Jessica Ray Brown, Ashley Dawn Craddock, Sarah Lawson Chadwick, Jessica Michelle Craig, Paul Jared Dick, Laura Beth Dickerson, Jacinda Spring Hurley, Brittany Nicole Keeney, Matthew Craig Keller, Alexandra Barbara Krespolska, Hannah D. McCullough, Anne Catherine Parlock, Mary Christine Petrani, Laura Elise Robbins, Cynthia Brooke Shabnley, Sarah Brennan Sullivan, Jenna Suzanne Walker. Will these students stand for a well-deserved round of applause? At Marshall University, there is another group of students for which every year we are so proud to welcome you to the Marshall family. And we are proud that as part of the mission of our university that we reach out to just such students. Today, would all of the graduates who are the first in their family to graduate please stand for a round of applause. We are here today to honor and to award degrees to those students who have successfully completed the degree requirements as prescribed by the faculty of Marshall University. We ask through your attentiveness that you honor them with us. The candidates for the Doctor of Education degree will be presented by Dean Rudy Pauley.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Degree Education of the Graduate College please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the Graduate College, I am pleased to present these candidates for the Doctor of Education degree.
Thank you, Dean Pauley. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree will be presented by Dean Leonard Deutsch.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree of the Graduate College please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the Graduate College of Marshall University, I am pleased to present the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Thank you, Dean Deutsch. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the Doctor of Psychology degree will be presented by Dean Leonard Deutsch.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Psychology degree of the Graduate College please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the Graduate College of Marshall University, I am pleased to present the candidates for the Doctor of Psychology degree.
Thank you, Dean Deutsch. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the Doctor of Management, Practice Nurse Anesthesia degree will be presented by Dean Leonard Deutsch.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Management Practice, Nurse Anesthesia degree of the Graduate College please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the Graduate College of Marshall University, I am pleased to present the candidates for the Doctor of Management Practice, Nurse Anesthesia degree.
Thank you, Dean Deutsch. Will all of the doctoral candidates please rise for the conferral of the degree by President Kopp.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and administration, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Marshall University Board of Governors and the state of West Virginia, I hereby confer upon you the degree you have earned to which you are entitled, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Will the graduates please be seated? The candidates for the West Virginia University, Marshall University Cooperative Doctoral of Education degree will be presented by Dean Rudy Pauley from Marshall University and conferred by Dr. Richard A. Hartnett, Chairman of the Educational Leadership Department of the College of Human Resources and Education at West Virginia University.
Will the candidate for the Doctor of Education degree in the West Virginia University, Marshall University Cooperative Doctoral Program please rise? Dr. Hartnett, on behalf of the faculty of the graduate colleges of West Virginia University and Marshall University, it gives me great pleasure to present this candidate for the Doctor of Education degree.
With the authority vested in me by West Virginia University Board of Governors and the Higher Education Policy Commission, the faculty recommending, I now confer upon you the degree to which you are entitled and all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Will the graduate please proceed to the platform for presentation of diploma and academic hood symbolic of the degree. Carol Lynn Fugit, to be hooded by Dr. Michael Cunningham.
Will the graduates of the Doctor of Education, Doctor of Philosophy, and Doctor of Psychology, and Doctor of Management Practice Nurse Anesthesia degrees please proceed to the platform for the presentation of diplomas? The Doctor of Education degree candidates will be presented by Dean Rudy Pauley.
Donna Madeline Armstrong. Cheryl Ann Belcher. Monica Garcia Brooks, to be headed by Dr. Dennis Anderson. Danny Ray Cantrell, to be hooded by Dr. Pal Toth. Mary Catherine Gould, to be hooded by Dr. Linda Spading. Melanie S. Jones, to be hooded by Dr. Michael Galbraith. Jacqueline Ann McPeak, to be hooded by Dr. Teresa Eagle. Sandra Lee Orr, to be hooded by Dr. Lisa Heaton. David Lee Rogers. Serena Lynn Starcher, to be hooded by Dr. Teresa Eagle. Mary Ann Thorne, to be hooded by Dr. Dennis Anderson.
The Doctor of Philosophy degree candidates will be presented by Dean Leonard J. Deutsch.
Ava Caudell Dykes, to be hooded by Dr. Gary Wright. Carolyn N. Mills, I will be hooding in place of Dr. Richard Niles. Sean Eric Thatcher, to be hooded by Dr. Gary Wright.
The Doctor of Psychology degree candidates will be presented by Dean Leonard J. Deutsch.
Amanda Sue Adams, to be hooded by Dr. Elizabeth Evans. Adrian Ann Bean, to be hooded by Dr. Mariana Linz. Tracy Lee LeGros, to be hooded by Dr. Christopher LeGros. Donna Marie Midkiff, to be hooded by Dr. Joseph Wyatt. Kimberly Yvonne Wilson, to be hooded by Dr. Thomas Ellis.
The Doctor of Management Practice Nurse Anesthesia degree candidates will be presented by Dean Leonard J. Deutsch.
Catherine F. Newcomb, to be hooded by Dr. Dennis Emmett. Cassandra Lois Taylor, to be hooded by Dr. Kurt Almosk. Nancy Louise Tierney, to be hooded by Dr. Andra Sekula. Priscilla Joyce Perrine, walk up to be hooded by Dr. Ashish Chandra. William Asa White, Jr., to be hooded by Dr. Ashish Chandra.
The candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering degree in the West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Marshall University Cooperative Program will be presented by Dean Tony Zwilski from Marshall University and conferred by Edward L. Robinson, Chairman of the West Virginia University Institute of Technology Board of Advisors.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering degree in the West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Marshall University Cooperative Program, please rise. Chairman Robinson, on behalf of the faculty of West Virginia University Institute of Technology and Marshall University, it gives me pleasure to present these candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering degree.
Upon recommendation of the Provost and Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs and approval of the Deans and Faculty of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, and on behalf of the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission, by virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer on each of you the degree of Civil Engineering, with all rights, privileges, and responsibility attached thereto. Congratulations and best wishes for a satisfying, fulfilling, and productive life.
Will the graduates please be seated?
The candidates for the Master's in Education Specialist degrees of the Graduate College will be presented by Dean Leonard Deutsch.
Will the candidates for the Master's and Education Specialist degrees of the Graduate College please rise? Master's and Education Specialist degree. Both. Master's degrees. Master's. You're getting there. Provost Inman, on behalf of the faculty of the Graduate College, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Deutsch. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the bachelor degree of the College of Education and Human Services will be presented by Dean Rosalind Templeton.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree of the College of Education in Human Services please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education in Human Services of Marshall University, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Templeton. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the bachelor degree of the College of Liberal Arts will be presented by Dean Christina Murphy.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees of the College of Liberal Arts at Marshall University please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Liberal Arts of Marshall University, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Murphy. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration degree of the College of Business will be presented by Dean Paul Uselding.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration degree of the College of Business Administration please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Business Administration of Marshall University, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Uselding. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the bachelor degrees of the College of Science will be presented by Dean Andrew Rogerson.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees of the College of Science please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Science of Marshall University, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Rogerson. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the bachelor degree of the School of Journalism and Mass Communication will be presented by Dean Corley Dennison.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree of the School of Journalism and Mass Communications please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Journalism and Mass Communications of Marshall University, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Dennison. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree of the College of Fine Arts will be presented by Dean Donald Van Horn, and today is his birthday.
Mine and several others, so happy birthday. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree of the College of Fine Arts please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Fine Arts at Marshall University, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Van Horn. Will the candidates please be seated, and happy birthday. The candidates for the bachelor's and associate degrees of the College of Health Professions will be presented by Dean Shorty McKinney.
Will the candidates for the degrees in Clinical Lab Sciences, Communication Disorders, Dietetics, Social Work, and Nursing please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Health Professions, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean McKinney. Will the candidates please be seated? Forward-thinking students. The candidates for the bachelor's degree of the College of Information Technology and Engineering will be presented by Dean Tony Zwilski.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree of the College of Information Technology and Engineering please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Information Technology and Engineering of Marshall University, I'm pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Zwilski. Will the candidates please be seated? The candidates for the Regents Bachelor of Arts degree will be presented by Dean Donovan Combs.
Will George Neal and his fellow candidates for the Regents Bachelor of Arts degree please rise? Provost Denman, on behalf of the faculty of Marshall University, I am pleased to present these candidates for their degrees.
Thank you, Dean Combs. Will the candidates please be seated? Now, I request that the entire graduating class of 2006-2007 please rise together. President Koch, on behalf of the faculty, I have the privilege of presenting the Marshall University graduating class of 2006-2007. As each candidate has completed the requirements for their specific degree, I recommend that the appropriate degree be conferred at this time.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and administration, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Marshall University Board of Governors and the great state of West Virginia, I hereby confer upon you the degree you have earned, to which you are entitled, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, graduates. You may now move your tassel from right to left. Graduates, please be seated at this time. Our commencement speaker, Homer Hickam, has asked for the privilege of shaking the hand of all our graduates as they come across the platform. So photographers, parents, you have a choice, or you can take both. I look forward to greeting you as well. Congratulations again.
We will now present diplomas to the master's, bachelor's, and associate degree candidates. We ask that you honor our graduates with your attentiveness. Please hold your applause until all the graduates have been recognized. We will begin with the Graduate College and proceed in a continuous presentation from college to college without interruption. Reading the names today of our graduates are Professors Robert Edmonds, Professor Cicero Fain, Professor Judith Silver, and Professor Harlan Smith. We will begin with the Graduate College and Dean Leonard Deutsch.
Fauna Markin McWilliams. Mary Robin Hendricks Matson. Mindy Denise Miller. Amy K. Elizabeth Anderson. Jamie Beth Samples. Laurie Zakwija. Billy Joe May. Tabitha Ann Richardson. Kenneth James Goodwin. Javon Maurice Jenkins. Wenbo Liang. Weidong Liu. Allison Elizabeth Cole. Richard Vernon Knight. Hinak M. Gabrihawa. Sabrina Conley Hudson. Jill Elizabeth Horton. April Nicole Ferguson. Alicia Giniscasa. David Hurley. Jasper Nakia Black. Nayoka Yamayuchi. Tomoyo Furuta. Shuko Nishi. Raiko Tamura. Mayayumi Watanabe. Christopher Lynn Wells. Jason Kenneth Smith. Carl Clifton Morris. Tara Nakahira. Joyce Lynn Enoff. Jennifer Lee Porter. Eric B. Clark. Nikki A. Adams. Rachel Eve Dozier. Crystal White Cotton Hedrick. Sun Tuan Pham. Tai Fong Trong Q. Chandra Kareen Ely. Shannon Lee Drown. Cynthia L. Woody. Autumn Melinda Anderson. Charlene Jean Frias. Danita Michelle Mullins. Tao Tai Tu Nagayan. Charles Almond. Tu Nagaktain Nagayan. Wee Gao. Kimberly B. Lewis. Ha Duk Nguyen. Tom Than Nguyen. Tom Pho. Stanley Lee Dixon Jr. Justin Michael Brewer. Lana Marie Olson. Holly Sue Higgins. Sandra Eugenia Spears. Karen Scott Hay. Marion Elizabeth Richards. Willie P. Johnson. Edward Douglas Clark. Christopher Harris Yandel. Eugene Johnson. Darby Janelle Dunnigan. Robert Andrew Hoyer. Robert Leroy Vinson. Jack B. Williams. Pamela J. Alcala. Christopher Hart Balco. Tu Miai To. Tai An Duong. Man Min Lee. Rachel Rebecca Eds. Lynn Mi Lee. Teen Nguyen. Tarahashi Muniko. Staunton Robin Smith. Marcia Jo Mikati. Deborah Romeo Knowles. Deborah L. McGinnis. Stacy M. Leach. Megan Ann Smith. Betty Gail Gay. Benjamin Carey Owens. Paula Elaine Beach. Kelly Lynn Tackett Rains. Tiffany Dawn Hutchinson, Kevin Lee Dingus, Tara Juliana Allman, Victoria Geneva Boutwell, Sergio Correo Figueredo, Mark Clay, Jana Ray Williams, Amanda Kristen Knapp, Shirlette Liston Phoenix, Tanya Gillespie, Joyce Ann Webb, Amy Diane Kristen, Rebecca Joy Hutchins, Jamie Amanda Taylor, Suzanne Tracy Edwards, Christopher Curtis Ross, Matthew Timothy Purcell, Andrew O'Neilan Green, Susan K. Patrick, Melanie Page Chapman, Alex Matney Reed, Clark Edward Davis, Michael J. Whaley, Robin D. Spencer, Nancy Gale Sizemore, Catherine Ann Church, Crystal Rose Taylor, Stephanie Joy Hightower, Christina Lynn Davidson, Stephen Gachunga, Debesh Kumar Shrestha, Edward Michael Logan, Timothy Wilburn Jr., Olivia Marie Woody, Gloria Adkins, Mahmoud Busida.
And now we begin the College of Health Professions.
Sarah Nicole Copley, Shauna Marie Morris, Rayanne Lee Matheny, Whitney Elizabeth Pinkerton, Andrea Michelle Schertzinger, Ashley Renee Vaughn Curry, Elizabeth Nora Chambers, Ashley Nicole Blair, Jade Fallon Haney, Jody Renee Romer, Angel Michelle Foley, Kimberly K. Mann, Stephanie Dawn Chapman, Stephanie Lauren Lloyd, Kristen Nicole Boggs, Michelle Leanne Morgan, Kevin David Gladys, Melissa Ann Morrison, Scarlett Lee Manchin, Kendra Dion Riffle, Nicole Renee Finley, Anita Lynn Knighton, Jacqueline Lee Heslop, Ashley Marie Wilson, Jack C. Shue, Lindsay Annette Casbolt, Ashley Dawn Dye, Lindsay Suzanne Clark, Tabitha Jean Stefanoff, Sandra Catherine Roberts, Mary Elizabeth Blake, Amy Michelle Bias, Holly F. Hager. Sarah Irene Music. Kristen Ashley Ward. Stephen Michael Bain. Ryan Christopher Sloan. Eric Brandon Myers. Daniel Lee Fraley. Ashley Nicole Epling. Jennifer Ann McLaughlin. Catherine Jean Lynch. Lauren Brittany Author. Stephanie Lynn Jeans. Kara Michelle Dials. Melissa Ellen Carter. Kristen Renee Meadows. Amber Nicole Crockett. Erica Michelle Johnson. Sarah Catherine Boyles. Nicole Ann Smith. Catherine Susan Brisky. Sandra Lou Martin. Andrea Nicole Tate. Brittany Diane Buskirk. Rachel Amanda Klein. Danielle Jean Daly. Kelly Jean Olinger. Teresa Lynn Higginbotham. Jessica K. Riffle. Delton Clarence Huffman. Devin Joe Gallagher. Amy Michelle Samples. Jillian Lee Justice. Jenna Lee Gwynn. Pamela Michelle Ford. Kaylee Marie Dye. Kayla Lynn Hargis. Amanda Elizabeth Robinson. Jordanos Berno Degree. Asefa Mamo Geberman. Monica Jane Chandler. Joy Allison Rounds. Chloe Ennis Shepard. Lee Ann Simmons. Abigail Christine Barris. Joshua Allen Jordan. Hillary Lucinda Atkins. Eric Ray Abbott. Charity Faith Stam. Cindy Elizabeth Carpenter. Roinka Lorraine Bumpus. Tiffany Beth Williams. Angela Annette Wagner. Jana Nicole Holbert. Brandon Michael Buckner. Emma Laura Probst. Alyssa Riccardi Falbo. Sarah B. Alvey. Whitney Nicole Casey Heatherman. William Ross Miller. Yingqing Chow. Angela Michelle McClure. Meredith Jill Ramey. Melissa Ray Stillwell. Lacey Danielle Deeds. Holly Nicole McAllister. Nicole Jamesy Battle. Sabrina Ann Payne. Jessica Ray Brown.
We now begin the College of Science.
Jessamine Lee Foscardo, Kimberly Ann Becker, Jessica Lee England, Michelle Brianna Mills, Danielle Lee Gilmore, Hannah Danielle McCullough, Julie Christine Stevens, Michelle Lee Macy, Janelle Lang McClure, William Michael Morrison, Stephen Nathaniel Oliver, Harlan Conrad Reed, Justin Ray Angus, Timothy Raymond Lynch, Adam Timothy Ellert, Carolyn J. Napier, Carolyn Elaine Trader, Heather Marie Collier, Dominique Emmanuel Figueroa, Sarah Lawson Chadwick, Eric Richard Merriam, Sean Elliott Collins, Lindsay Nicole Weimer, Larice Marie Morton, Jacqueline Christine Decker, Christine Elizabeth Shuri, Joel Ryan Turley, Kristen Marie Grinstead, Martin Lee Chadwell, Robert Tyler Dawson, Jeremy Ryan Gonsalskis, Jason P. Mader, Ian Gray O'Connor, Caitlin Nicole Swecker, Sean Richard Taylor, Benjamin Matthew Burdine, Morgan Emily Spears, Megan Elizabeth Weber, Jennifer L. Welch, Sonia Ann Triska, Monique Alexia Cameron, Stephen William Wesley Howard, Benjamin Mark Wilson, Sean Walter Daly, Danielle Elliott Gordon, Chase Henderson, Elijah Miller, Daniel Elijah Blair, Danielle Maria Dresser, Jennifer Renee Shingleton, Megan Nicole McCoy, Roberta Ann Siebold, Roy Robert Harmon, Brandon Michael Stewart, Matthew Raymond Young, Curtis David Darst, Jennifer Lee Kaiser, Sarah Brennan Sullivan.
We now begin the College of Fine Arts.
Kenneth Robert Booth, Mark Allen Swatter, Micah Kaini, Daniel Ray McQuaid, Rebecca Maria Calpit, Justin Corbett Gore, Kimberly Bennett Bitso, Robert C. Haig, Christina Magic, Andrea DiPolito, Donald Andrew Melton, Julia Leota Urban, Ricky Lane Woodrum II, Kristen Rose Moore, Bethany Grace Sharp, Tanya Faye Rayburn, Sarah Rose Breniger, Charlotte Carol Clark, Dominique Rose Sacco, Miranda Lee Fields, Stefanana Michelle Rwanda Chos, Jennifer Elise Sneed, Joshua Daniel Harshbarger, Aaron Melissa White, Valerie Darlene Fincham, Adam Douglas Stevens, Courtney Lynn Sussman, Alexandra Barbara Kresh Pulsucker, Theodore A. Rose II, Angela V. Moore, Jeremiah Morgan Bennett, David Ellsworth Shriver, Jr.
We will now begin the College of Information Technology and Engineering.
Shirley Lynn Adkins, Stephen Williams Blood, Kenny L. Roy, Mickey Dial, Michael Hensley,
We will now begin the Regents Bachelor of Arts degree.
Laura Heather Blue Kaiser, Sarah Louise Walters, Christopher Kyle Smith, Herbert Thomas Bullock III, John Thomas Rembert, Laura Christine White, O'Brien Bookatz, Janine Louise Radlett, Charles Sidney Levine, Matthew T. Ballinger, Emily Sarah Moe, Ashley Morgan Harris, Perry M. Arnold, Jamie Lee Blankenship, Natalie Joyce Falk, Jocelyn R. Clark, Ashley Nicole Lehman, Patsy Jane Stevenson, Joshua D. Cassidy, Danny Dean Edmonds, Jacqueline Lee Winiger, Carol Elizabeth Seibel, Micah Lee Wood Thomas, Michael Todd Cox, Roshana Shenna Parker, Kiara Michelle Woods, Jamie Rochelle Methax, George Walter Neal, L. Paul Pratt, Scott Preston Webb, Jr., Jerry Michael Plummer, Carol Annette Chambers, Melissa L. Nickel, Sarah Schumacher, Deborah Carol Pauley, Douglas Ray Harlow, Carson William Miller, Betty Jean McDaniel, Kimberly Jo Sharp, Deborah Sue Goheen, Yvonne Rochelle Shepard, Nikki Lee Schaefer, Jana G. Haffer, Virginia May Campbell Turner, Mark Andrew Wade, Sherry L. Sanders. Aja Dior Myers. Leslie Dion Brooks. Jessica Lauren Nelson Spencer. Leslie Ann Rader. Anna Marie Wiley. Atenshi Alicia Lynn Shepard. Kelly Hammocks Frampton. Melissa Deanne Sabin. Tyrone J. Williamson.
We now begin the College of Education and Human Services.
Priscilla Ann Spence. Alexis Wren Hanley. Christy Nicole Stanley. Sarah Tess McClellan. Krista Lee Sutliff. Rebecca Ann McDaniel. Sarah Ann Camden. Rebecca Lynn Young. Audrey Virginia Weaver. Casey Ann Mullahant. Brittany Dawn Brooks. Philip Patrick Parluck II. Ann Catherine Parluck. Matthew Christensen Hopewell. Gregory Allen Terhune. Brett Nelson Berge. David Anna Marshall. Rebecca Lynn Solomon. Justin Brooks Kesterson. Meredith Diane Chrislip. Tammy Lynn Mahar. Stephanie Lauren Marshall. Rachel Catherine Henderson. Devin Hubbard Healy. Jennifer Ann Reynolds. Emily Elizabeth Browning. Leslie Ann Shrewsbury. Lou Ann Browning. Selena N. Roberts. Jamie Lynn Hacker. Jason Michael Bankston. Cassandra Nicole Height. Christy Renee Adams Robertson. Carly Michelle Childers. Jamie Lee Wilcox. Jill Marie Guess. Heather Marie Jarrett. Marisa Diane Meadows. Heather Renee Broyles. Amber Nicole Gerald. Megan Marie Webb. Robert Kyle Blethen. Mary M. Damron. Sabrina Brandell Salmons. Julie Beth Ballingy. Crystal Ray Carpenter. Leslie Allen Akers. Sarah Beth Hall. Joseph Stephen Chapman. Michael Shane Adkins. William K. Salter II. Jason A. Rose. Adam Christopher Rhodes. Brian Thomas Lang. Danielle Nicole Winter. Matthew Hunter Jarvis. Christopher Wayne Nestor. Jennifer Lynn Gooch. Amanda Nicole Hoy. Skylene Nicole Montgomery. Kathleen Michelle Sane. Timothy Lamont Green. Uranius Unique Johnson. Shannon Marie Bacon. Laura Beth Dickerson, Stephanie Francis Hurley, Seth Paul Harding, Michelle Lynn Captain, Devin Paul Perry, Carrie Rena Scholl, Eric Jerome Witcher, Aaron Ray Mendez, Ashley Christine Cota, Angelica Lucia Brochero, Julene Christina Nestor, Meredith Lauren Anderson, Lauren Summer Fletcher, Paulette Monique Nixon, Sarah Christine Jones, Rachel Suzanne Linville, Jessica Michelle Craig, Daniel H. Byrne Jr., Stephen John Patrick Woodard, Sherry Lynette Saunders, Lowell Jordan Austin, Rebecca Ruth Beasley, Courtney Nicole Poston, Christopher Wayne Roberts, Albert Riley Goodrich II, Taryn Marie Mello, Melissa Ann Black, Carol Jean Rains, Jeremiah Joseph McCoy, Chad C. Caldwell, Patrick Ryan Deming, Jameline Danae Hamlin, Shane Joseph Pica, Jessica Mae Bethel, Matthew Scott Chaffins, Erica Brooke Johnson, Autumn Ray DiPolito, Kiera Beth Collier, Sean Christopher Hornbuckle, Justin Allen H., Joshua Caleb Crago, Ashley Dawn Chaddock, Megan Michelle Frazier, Teresa Michelle French, Jessica L. George, Kevin Andrew Klein, Samara Ann Bennett, Lindsay Lewis, Rachel Mary Searle, Charles William Cottrell, Tebalio Suzanne Casto, Ginger A. Anderson, Corey Allen Sias, Jamie Lynn Cabell, Brittany Page Bailey, Melanie Ray Funk, Heather Renee Curtis, Carrie Ann Langdon, Sarah Jo Roberts, Jennifer Louise Shiflett, Michelle Lynn Turley, Sarah Frances Jackson, Danielle O'Neill Fry, Charlotte Carol Clark.
We will now present the graduates of the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications, Lewis College of Business, and the College of Liberal Arts, and they will enter from the stage right side of the arena.
If you quickly make a switch for me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
We will begin with the School of Journalism.
Joshua Aaron DeLonger. Bradley Arthur Bader. James Allen Clyburn, Jr. Cynthia Brooke Schneebly. Emily Elizabeth Dietrich. Sarah Elizabeth Kemp. Mindy Dawn Snodgrass. Christopher Franklin Dixon. Carolyn Jo Sharp. Corianne Ingram. Leonard Eric Sundahl. Talitha Lynette Snell. Sakitha Nicole Shepard. Heather Nicole Martin. Jennifer Ann Kelly. Angela Denise Bradley. Crystal Danielle Nichols. Tori Lynn Mara. Ashley Marie Nickel. Carly Nicole Hillman. Amy Marie Boggs. Ermel Kirsten King. Megan Elizabeth Sellards. Catherine Lynn Kemp. Amanda Lee Lafiego. Lorianne Kersey. Tiffany Lynn Linville. Keely-Ann Martin. Matthew Allen Christ.
We will now begin with the Lewis College of Business.
Stephen Lee Grinstaff. Andrew J. Heighton. Charles Alfred Adkins III. David James Needfelt. Bohan Dang. Sarah Ann Cutslow. Laura Jean Kincaid. Kathy J. Fincham. Alberta Alexandria Jenkins. Elizabeth Ann Hensley. Dalia L. Broughton. Rebecca Lynn Wass. Sarah Jane Morris. Zachary Eugene Nichols. Jack Gabriel Olshan. Benjamin Morgan Sandy. Scott David Strakula. Sarah Jane Tucker. Thomas Bo Sang. Kenneth Wesley Carper. Thomas Scott Shad. Sarah Marie Bryant. Beverly Ann Maynard. Jenna Lee Frankenfield. Erin Michelle Kelly. Andrew Ryan Piles. J.T. Hurley. Valerie Ann Moore. Jessica Sarah Johnson. Chelsea Marie Folks. April Leanne Simpson. Timothy Raymond Gladys. Nathan Moore Hamilton. Jillian K. Herron. Laura Kelly Richter. James Tyler Schneider. Jeffrey Lawrence Hoppy. Emily Michelle Springer. Holly Jo Burns. Adam Michael Maxey. Joy Charisse Mullins. Byron Thomas Murrell. LaVar Damone Carter. Travis Lee Perry. Raymond Gabrielle Rushton. Nicholas Charles Urshley. Carolyn Hoback Clark. Sarah K. Workman. Mark Allen Pfizer. James Zachary Spurlock. David Eugene Wallace. Tara Michelle Perry. Matthew Congrove Coco. Jim Henry Black III. Stacy Laurel Green. Nicolette Nashe Woody. Teha Nguyen. Tao Ti Phuong Hui. Matthew Lawrence Moore. Marissa Lynette Sariwata. Bruce Lomax Williams. John Charles Kelly, Jr. Jonathan Michael Nelson. Jessica Lynn Oliver. Diane Lane. Terry Michelle Wells. David Lee Castle. Joseph Mark Weekly. Kirk Benjamin Gibson. Christopher A. Randolph. Jessica Ann Griffey. Beverly Diane Hawley. Honora Mary Bankert. Megan Elizabeth Wallace. Jeting Yang. Christopher Lee Schaefer. Gifty Abina Smith.
We now begin the College of Liberal Arts.
Cal Stewart Parton. Joseph E. Flanagan. Mary Emily Paul. Melanie Ann Wade. Kayla Dawn Golden. Pamela Sue Willis. Stephanie Marie Norris. Christina Dawn Elliott. Rasandra J. Smiley. Madupe Carolyn Aishola. Kelly Gray Corey. Courtney Brooke Spinks. Kendra Lynn Knapp. Ashley Renee Hubbard. Kinezun Lekun. It's tough. Stephanie Wim. Nicole Renee Logan. Jenna Suzanne Walker. Lori L. Tarango. Tabitha Margot Surface. Lakeisha M. Boyd. Leah Tess Green. Ashley Ryan Petts. Lyrandra Marie Ventura. Janice L. Edmonds. Sarah Loving Posen. Lisa Nicole Pauley. Benjamin Way Childers. Justin Patrick Nab. Catherine Suzanne Lavender. Brittany Lee Pate. Stephanie Nicole Knight. Elizabeth Ann Kilver. Alice Seki. Meredith Brooke K. Osceola. Megan Brittany Reed. Leah Nicole Charles. Allison Ray Hatcher. Tanya Fallon Steffens. Santana Maria Maynard. Trina Gail Douglas. Colin Kelly. Michael Edmund Nolan. Jacqueline Kimberly Sherman. Ryan Michael Posey. Kendra Nicole Greer. Charles Franklin Hubbard. Robert Eric Crockett. Jessica Lee Moore. Lucinda Marie Pauley. Davina Monique Bell. Job Allen Dillinger. Patrick William Hensley. Lucas Weir. Jamie Lee Dunkel. Mark Daniel Spradlin. Chris Ryan Brewer. Charles Brandon Patrick. Richard Aaron McComas. William Justin Beckner. Matthew James Bernanke. Kelly Denise Belcher. James Timothy Binder. Jennifer Brooke Pritchard. Kayla Blair. Emily McDoris Edmondson. Samantha Louise Chapman. Sarah Elizabeth Hanson. Ashley Dawn Coleman. Kathy Darlene Smith. Michael Lowell. Amy Alyssa Casto. Aaron Misty Lilly. Michael Craig DeHaven. David Andrew Dabelencourt. Steve Allen Kelly. Jansen David Jeffrey. Michael Scott Beveridge. Joshua Allen Clark. Brian Michael Matthews. Daniel Stephen Lang. Allison Christina Wolf. Casey Milton Cunningham. Chelsea Guthrie. James Moreau Wallace. Rosanna Ray Halt. Christopher Lee Davis. Patricia Jean Klein. Chad William Riddle. Eugene Carol Sanders. Christopher Michael Kreitzer. Christina Michelle Isaacs. Jessica Lane Jones. Michelle Ray Johnson. Lashina Danielle Sawyers. Cassandra Marie Jeffers. Kara Lurie Dawson.
It's Jadwiga. Jadwiga Pavlik.
Yaviga Pavlik. Joshua David Parsons. Mark Ryan Henderson. Savannah Leanne Hall. William A. Holland. Carissa McKee. Jason Ryan Weaver. Michael David Bragg. Joe Michael Fitchum, Jr. Leslie Ann McNimmer. Matthew Craig Keller. Jeanette Renee Torville. Stephen Lee Sayre. Jennifer Lorene Stillwell. Nicole Daniel Whiting. Michael Francis Murphy. Jonathan Martin Buxton. Sujal Scarlett Ma. Eric Walls. Jillian Lee Petros. Stephen Michael Verlat. Trevor John Wiley. Sarah Blevins. Andrew Graham Jagtiani. Robert Andrew Stewart. Paul Jarrett Dick. Judy A. Berry.
Let's give all our graduates a round of applause. I would like to take just a moment to recognize two Marshall University employees planning to retire this year who make this day possible. Sharon Pertee and Rusty Dorton. Sharon works in the registrar's office and assists with the commencement arrangements, processes the diplomas, and prepares the program. She has been a part of Marshall for 28 years. Rusty is a supervisor at our physical plant for 34 years. In addition to assisting with commencement, every year Rusty takes the floral arrangements to Spring Hill Cemetery and places the flowers on the graves of the Marshall University football players who were killed in the 1970 plane crash. Rusty plans to continue doing this even after he retires every year. Let's give them both a round of applause. Now I'm pleased to introduce Sharon Porter, President of the Marshall University Alumni Association. Cheryl will bring greetings from the Alumni Association.
I am so proud to stand before you representing the 92,000 other living alumni of this university. We welcome you to our ranks, all of you new alumni. We're so happy to understand and recognize you on this, your special day. Your Alumni Association hopes you never lose touch with us or this university, and we want you to know the many services that we offer you as you leave us. You have email for life with us, so you can always be in touch. You have access to our library databases anywhere you go. And please feel free to use our network of alumni and our clubs across the country to stay in touch. They will offer you game watching and fun activities for you and your families wherever you go. My hope is that wherever you end up, wherever your road leads you, you won't forget us, and you must rest assured that we will never forget you. At this time, I'd like to ask all of the Marshall University alumni in this building to please stand. Yes, you guys better stand, everybody. Old alumni, new alumni, greet each other. Thank you, and we hope this legacy lives on forever.
Before we close, I need to make two brief announcements. The Health Professions Recognition Ceremony will be held in the Grand Ballroom of this conference center immediately following commencement. Those attending the Health Professions Ceremony exit the arena through gates A and D and enter the conference center from the plaza. The College of Liberal Arts Recognition Ceremony will begin in this arena in approximately 30 minutes.
As you can see, producing an event of this magnitude requires the work of many people. We extend our thanks to every one of them, but I would like to personally recognize Roberta Ferguson, Dave Wellman, and James Morris Smith for their exceptional work with today's event. We appreciate their tireless efforts. Thank you all. As these 2007 commencement ceremonies draw to a close, I wish to leave you with a final reflection from a poem written by Jack London, and then a final thought. Jack London lived from 1876 to 1916, 40 short years. His poem is this: I would rather be ashes than dust. I would rather my spark should burn in a brilliant blaze than be stifled in dry rot. I would rather be a superb meteor, every atom of me in magnificent glow, than a sleepy planet. Man's chief purpose is to live, not exist. I shall not waste my days trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. So then, for all you graduates, that daily thou mayest better serve thy fellow men, thy country, and thy God. I wish you that charge, and we bid you farewell and congratulate you, the members of the class of 2007. Let's give them one more round of applause. We will now rise and listen as four of our new graduates, Ann K. Parlock, Philip P. Parlock II, Theodore A. Rose, and Caitlin N. Sweeker, sing the Marshall University alma mater. The words are printed on page 1 of the program for you to follow along as they sing. After they have finished singing, please be seated until the platform party and faculty have recessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and we are Marshall.
Marshall, gracious alma mater, we thy name revere. May each noble son and daughter cherish thine honor dear. May thy lamp be ever bright, guiding us to truth and light. As a beacon o'er dark waters, this is for thee our prayer. May the years be kind to Marshall,